You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
All right, we are back for another
All
edition.
right.
Yeah, another edition
That's
of
my-
Connoisseur Radio.
That's my McConaughey impersonation.
Is that your
All right. Yeah.
Well, joining me in the studio, as always, is the lovely Miss Samantha Walsh. And then our good friend Norm Hartman is here today representing Bong-A-Thong.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing,
Oh,
Norm?
I'm so
I'm good.
excited.
So good to have you back on, man. It's always fun to have any of you guys from Bong-A-Thong on.
Right on. Chris should be here in a minute.
Right on. Good. We'll love to see Chris
I
Jones
loved
show up.
Bong-A-Thong. I had so much fun.
We had such a
last year.
blast filming that.
It was fun.
It was fun. And
Funnest party you'll ever attend, I promise.
It really was, and we're even at Bong-A-Thon from last year, we were already talking about how we were going to do it up better for our campsite and everything for this coming year. I may not be in attendance this time, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, because you'll have a baby.
I am having a baby within the next
You're not having a baby
in less than a week. Yeah, well, I'm not actually having.
But you'll be in charge of a baby after.
I will be in charge of a baby soon. But yeah, we're actually late now. It's one of those things that everyone told me the worst time of the pregnancy
The
is
first
the last
one's
2
always
weeks.
late. The first one's always late.
Well, we don't know if we're gonna have a second, so
Whatever.
one.
The first. This is just like I don't know. I want to necessarily say it's a statistic, but everyone I know who ever
Usually
had
within a week late. Yeah.
was pregnant. Yeah, for their first child it just took forever.
Yeah. So our due date was on
late.
Tuesday, April Fool's Day. So everybody remembered that we told. So we were getting flooded with calls, and now I think everyone's kind of petered out. And we'll just tell you when we.
Did you tell people she went into labor on April Fool's Day?
No, you know what I did? I actually did call my parents up because my mom was at work, my dad was at home because he's retired, and I called up my dad. And, we've known for a while we're gonna have a girl, and her name's gonna be Mia, Miss Mia Madalena. So I called him up and I was like, "Well, we had the baby. Congratulations, Grandpa." And he's all, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah. The only strange thing is it's actually a boy." And he's like, "No, get out of here." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we like the name Mia so much that we're gonna still call him Mia." That's
Nice.
that's when he's like, "You're full of shit."
Well played.
And my mom's really cute as hell because I call her up at work, I tell her the same thing, and she's totally believing it until I say we're gonna have, we're gonna name her Mia, and then she's like, "You're an asshole." So yeah. We did have fun with April Fools. We were kind of looking forward to April Fool's Day because we figured we'd have so much fun with her every year, just giving her the fake joke gifts and then a real gift, and we were just gonna make it fun.
Oh my God, she would hate you. But
I know she would. I know she would. But I want. Yeah,
because
exactly.
you already start to hate your parents as a girl already at 12, and then she would
Exactly.
really, really hate you. She'd be like, "I fucking hate my parents." God.
Yeah, God, could I have been born any other day but April Fool's Day? But we were like, you know what? We're still gonna.
Because you'd be cheesy and dorky.
Oh,
and
totally.
she would just hate you so much.
Totally.
It would be.
Her first car was gonna be a Matchbox.
That was my. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's a joke. That was my first car.
When she was 16, I mean.
No, that was.
That was your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
was probably all you could handle. I heard
You were begging for a car, and that's what they got you.
That is not true. You turn your phone off.
Well, you did tell me once that you were a scary driver.
I am I would say a flexible
You've seen
driver.
it?
I'm a flexible driver.
Chris is shaking his head. He's usually unshakable too.
What are you
and he's
talking about?
Oh, really?
Oh, that-
no, you're not one of those, are you?
I am not a texter,
Not a texter
and
driver. No, but she checks her email.
I've actually listen. I have been making a conscious effort that if I get a text message, I'll call that person while I'm in the car.
I am the same way.
And I even say I can't text you anymore and getting in the car, and I'll call them while I'm getting in the car so I can.
I do the same thing actually.
Yeah,
I spend half of my days.
And then
in the
I know
car
I need to
anyway, since my
eventually
office.
just wean myself off the phone in general. At least I don't GPS and drive. I at least don't do that.
So what do you mean GPS? Check where you're going
Like
while you're
this,
driving?
because I just know where I'm going.
Well, yeah.
That's,
Right, before you get there, before you're on your way, you're prepared.
Yeah.
Well,
prepared.
then you just have the GPS talk to you, and then it's not a problem.
No, because I can't when you're talking to someone on the phone and the lady talks back and it's annoying.
Well, okay, so let's get into a little bit of news going on.
Anyways.
There is actually a big story going that's been floating around now, basically saying that the first death attributed to marijuana usage in Colorado and in the history of the world, basically.
No.
Well,
contributing factor, first of all. Second of all, I'm sure
I'm sure there's been people that have took a big old bong hit, fished out, fell down, and cracked their skull
Or
open.
like, you
Well,
know,
yes, exactly. I mean, I think there's things that have happened like that, but no deaths ever happened from an overdose of marijuana
Right.
and blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And then if we even want to still try to compare it to deaths that are attributed to alcohol and people being stupid on alcohol, we're never going to even touch that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's an interesting storyline because, as reported, it was a college student who was visiting Denver from, I think it was Northwest College, in Powell, Wyoming. He's a 19-year-old student. What's that?
Sorry, he's laughing as I'm big.
Oh, okay. So his name was Levi Tamba, I want to say his name is, because he's from, what country did they say he was from?
Africa.
Well, that's a continent. But,
Sorry.
The Congo. He was in the
was it Congo?
Yes.
Okay. So he was, an exchange student coming over here, and they came down to Colorado, him and some other Wyoming students, I guess, to take advantage
Yeah.
of medical cannabis. And they said that he
Well,
had,
they were down here for spring break.
They were down for spring break.
It was directly correlated to marijuana or not. I'm sure it helps. I'm sure it didn't
so
hurt.
the report is the death was classified as an accident, and the coroner did list marijuana intoxication from cannabis-infused cookies as a significant condition contributing to the death. The brief summary was, let's see. What basically happened was he was here with 3 friends on spring break on March 11th. Tamba consumed marijuana cookies. I love how they do quote-unquote marijuana cookies. So why would you even have to say quote-unquote? Because that's usually saying...
I don't know.
Anyway, marijuana cookies, and soon thereafter exhibited hostile behavior, pulling items off the walls and spoke erratically. Between... at least the 4. We have a new intern here, Gabe, by the way. Welcome to the team,
Is that
Gabe.
who that is?
Yes. Now, I don't
didn't
know
know what-
Gabe's experience on cannabis.
I didn't know
he
what
is
that
under
was.
21, so if he doesn't have a red card, he can't legally consume anyway right now. Actually legally, yeah. And he pulls up his red card just to show us. So, but I think all of us are very experienced in either experiencing the effects of marijuana or seeing other people experiencing the effects of marijuana on a very high level of consumption.
Especially on edibles. I've seen some people effed up.
Have you ever seen anybody violent on cannabis?
No.
Me neither.
I've seen
Okay.
them pick up the phone and ready to dial 911.
Right. I've seen that.
Many
I've seen them
times.
wig out and be very afraid for their lives, and we all we laugh about it. It's not funny when you're in that moment, but for those of us who are there, we're kind of like, nothing's going to happen, dude. It's all good. But yeah, it's not fun for them if it's a first-time experience for them. I don't know if it was a first-time experience for this gentleman, Levi. I would guess not, since he's in college, but maybe it was. But the violent thing is we all kind of find a little, what's the word? Hinky. That's my word of the day there. It's a little hinky.
Hinky?
Never heard that term before?
Nope.
No.
Little goofy, little funny, little like, I don't know about that.
You're a little hinky.
I am a little hinky. So it is odd that he was violent because of the cannabis usage.
Well, maybe he was just so scared that he ran out the door and then jumped off the balcony.
Well, because that's what basically happened was he tried. His
what they
friend
said.
supposedly subdued him for a minute, and then when they let him go, he basically ran out and jumped off of the balcony. To that extent.
Well, first they were trying to say that he fell.
It said, however, the decedent, I guess that's the deceased. I would have said, but eventually reportedly jumped out of bed and went outside the hotel room and jumped over the balcony railing.
Well, at first the story was that he fell. That he was just so high he fell. And then the story was he was acting crazy and jumped.
And he was on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not alcohol intoxication, by the way. They said there was no alcohol in his system, or at least it doesn't say here in this. They said there was nothing else that showed up on the toxicology report. So the basic scenario is this guy had some edible cookies, which, by the way, he tested at 7.2 nanograms in his blood alcohol content. Now, I know Norm right now probably has 3 times that amount in his system.
I probably wake up with 7 in my system.
Probably more than that, actually, because there's studies where if you've done it the night before and you're a habitual smoker, a regular smoker, the next day you could test as high as 15, 20 nanograms, and you're stone cold sober. So, it's very interesting that they said 7.2, and they're saying, well, that's 0.2 points over the alcohol, the 5 nanogram limit for
Which
driving.
everyone said that's an arbitrary number.
It's an arbitrary number.
They interviewed an ER doctor who said this is atypical reaction to marijuana consumption or even inhalation. He says usually he's like he's never seen a reaction like this ever. And,
nobody has ever seen a reaction like this. Now, could it be that he did react to marijuana in this way? Yes. There's no way to say that he didn't necessarily.
Hallucinating, definitely. You could totally,
You could, but I've never known anybody who thought
No.
they could fly on cannabis. And of course the general public's like, oh, he probably thought he could fly. It's like, nah. I've never met anybody who thought that. They might say, I wish I could fly. Wouldn't it be cool if I could fly? But they're like, but no, I know I can't fly. Dude, it'd be so cool if you could fly.
I feel like I'm floating.
Yeah. So there's that, which like I said, it's a little hinky. So there's an alternate theory that our friend, should we say who our friend is who had the
No.
No. Well, we have a mutual friend.
We have a mutual
Miss Samantha
friend.
and I, who has an alternate theory about this.
He definitely has an alternate
What do you want to
theory.
share the alternate theory?
I wonder
And again,
if he's listening right
this
now.
is
He's gonna love
totally
it.
an alternate theory.
Alternate theory.
But there is some validity to this theory.
I've taken sides with this theory. I 100% believe that.
I believe his phrasing was, you mean I can't say it. I can't be the person to say it.
Why not? Well, you don't have to say it.
He thinks it's rather suspicious that out of a room. I don't know if I have the comedic chops to pull it off. Is the
Here,
problem?
you want me to say this?
Yeah. So I don't know. You got a room full of 4 white guys from Wyoming, and the only one who ended up over the edge was the one black guy.
Yeah.
He seems to think it's rather suspicious.
Well, and it is suspicious. I think the other thing he pointed out was it's suspicious that all these things were knocked off of the shelves everywhere. Because again, we said you don't normally
there was a
find-
scuffle.
Like there was a scuffle.
Yep.
And if you take that and you say, well, there was a scuffle. Something happened where somebody maybe threw somebody off of the roof, or a scuffle happened, and in the scuffle he accidentally did go over.
Come on,
the
guys!
Right.
Men from Wyoming are definitely
Hey,
not.
no, that is
They've never ever perpetrated a crime on anyone for their minority status ever. This has
there
never
goes our
happened.
Wyoming fan base.
There goes our Wyoming fan base. Just kidding. I love Wyoming. It's
'Cause
windy.
We can't say that just because they were white males going to the Wyoming school that they were from Wyoming.
Oh, that's
That is true.
I just thought about that.
That's a very good point too.
So you just hate white people in general. You're like those fucking white people always
so
murdering
the alternate
people.
theory
It's
is
true.
if there weren't 3 or I think it was 3 actually.
We just lost half our white audience.
Witnesses
Fuck whitey.
from this event who were colluding together, kind of like an "I Know What You Did Last Spring Break" kind of movie. And again, this is total speculation.
Or
We're just
maybe he finally realized he was so high and he got a little paranoid. He's like, I am the only black guy.
I gotta
in a
get as
room
far
full
away
of
from these
dudes.
white dudes
I gotta
as
get as
possible."
far away from
But
these
he's
guys.
from Africa. I think they have a little different viewpoint.
Is it too late to be making jokes about that? We probably shouldn't.
Is
be
it too
making
early? I think you mean to say.
Yeah,
No,
this
for me
is
it's too late. I like to make jokes immediately right
Oh,
after
that's
it
terrible.
happens. Yeah.
It might be too soon. I mean, it's no laughing matter that this kid died. It isn't.
Not at all.
It's not.
But those of us.
But the jokes are a laughing matter.
Yeah, but there is
Sometimes.
those. I'm
Sorry.
sure it'll be on
Shouldn't
Bill
make jokes.
Maher and all these other things soon. Probably they'll talk about it. But there is a little bit of yeah, really, was it just a couple cookies that he had, and then he thought he could fly, and he jumped over or fell over. And meanwhile, there's all these people well, which cookies were they?
Well, to me that makes more sense than somebody dying from a cannabis overdose or even all of a sudden jumping off a 4-story building.
Based on empirical evidence over
I would
years,
say
yes.
that if you were to tell me, here's the situation: found a dude on the ground, 4 stories up. He's black. 4 stories up. Bunch of white guys standing around going, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. If I was the Denver police, I'd be like,
No, I mean, I can picture
there
a
an
scene.
altercation
I can
here?
picture a scenario where these guys are like, dude, how do we explain this? You guys got into a fight. You got in an argument over a girl or something crazy like that. And, he went over the balcony.
You
They
realize
probably,
we've gone straight Alex Jones right
we
now.
totally have. We totally have. But it's kind of a fun strain of thought. So, but I can just see, dude, what do we say? Well,
It's a false flag,
he's
guys.
high. He was
It's a
high.
false
He was too
flag.
high, and he fell over. He thought he could fly, and he got a little violent, and he knocked all these things and broke all this shit. So, I mean, I can see a panicked, reasoning of some guys to try to create that story, and very well are going to get away with it if that is a story. It could very well be the truth.
But
Not saying
let's
it's
get
not.
back to the other part of this whole correlating cause thing. So there's 2 news stories I'd like to bring up. One
Please
was
do.
another one that happened yesterday that I think was much more tragic, which is another military guy went nuts
Yes.
on prescription medication.
Ambien.
Ambien. And then, you know how far I had to get into most news articles to see that part? First of all, half of them didn't even have that, what he was on.
Yep.
Second of all, at the very bottom. Third of all, was it the lead or the title of any of these articles, like with this marijuana story? No. But you're still talking about a substance, a controlled substance, found in someone's system, probably or likely that it messes with their head, has a strong psychoactive reaction.
Well, I mean, Ambien's a sleepwalking drug, right? It's the one where you sleep, cook, and do full on complicated activities.
Yep. I've known way more people who have done things, hallucinated, had the most insane psychiatric reaction to Ambien as opposed to pot.
They say it was being tested for the PTSD or whatever.
PTSD.
Yeah. Yep. At the same time, they just hadn't got the final answer on that yet.
Yeah, it's interesting though. So they're going to say, so is it PTSD? Or is it Ambien? Or, a combination?
Well, it's probably a combination
Could be a combination of both. Right. But it's interesting that you're probably not going to hear a lot of blame going towards Ambien on this situation.
No, not at all. And then, and to find even that fact in the story, very at the bottom. Yeah. Meanwhile, compared to what's going on with this other, actually a very sad story.
It's a very sad story. It is.
And I guess the sensationalism behind the media, for them, it's like, oh, guns. We're going to go after you. Oh, another gun, another shooting. And then another rampage, and then but nothing about a prescription pill fueled rampage. Right. Nothing in that title.
Oh no, it's not going to be anything like that.
Absolutely, that's the headline.
Absolutely. If it was something, here's the thing. I mean, I guess the flip conversation on this before we go on a break, really quick though, is that if he was high and he did this at Foothood, that would be the number one policy.
Yes, they would be dude on marijuana. Or if they just found it in his blood.
Or if they just found it in his blood, like he got high 3 days ago, didn't get high during the day, but they'd say it was in his blood. That would be the number one story across the country right now on that part of that story. It is the number one story across the country right now.
And the headline should be, if that's the litmus test, then it should be prescription pill fueled rampage.
I agree.
Pharmaceutical fueled, guy doped up on farmies, rampage. Absolutely. Not this just another shooting spree. It should be, nope. He was on pills. Let's treat it all like that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and if he does have PTSD,
yep.
And he was on and he was on Ambien, and you wake up on that and you're having one of those flashbacks, man, that could be some bad news.
Well, I mean, that is just Ambien is not something I would prescribe to anyone with PTSD. Ever. I'm not a psychiatrist.
I wouldn't subscribe it to anybody, knowing hearing what I hear about it.
The stories I've heard off that, I wouldn't give it to someone who has flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Flashbacks definitely would be the bad choice to give that to him.
And the second news story I want to talk about, this is actually kind of old, but it's this woman, this newlywed couple, and they were on a hike, and then she pushes him off the cliff, and she just got sentenced. They said the other day, yeah. But at first she tried to say, "Oh, he fell. It was an accident." But then then I think we should just outlaw marriage, because obviously the contributing cause for that guy was that he got married. Because they wouldn't have been, if they hadn't gotten married, they wouldn't have been on their honeymoon hike, which is what that was. And she wouldn't have pushed him off the cliff.
There you go.
I know.
There you go. Interesting correlation there. Right. It would be the same thing as just saying, well, you shouldn't have guns. If somebody could pick up a gun and do that, you're blaming the guns, which I don't agree with. But
the point being these ridiculous mental leaps that the news media takes. Contributing factor. Well, a lot of things are a contributing factor. It ain't what fucking kills you. Yeah. Gravity was a contributing factor. It didn't kill him, Right.
Yeah, exactly. Gravity was definitely a contributing factor. That's a very good way to put it.
And she thinks she doesn't have comedic chops.
I know, right? But it is. It's about the news and sensationalism of the news nowadays.
Anyways, as sad as it is, and it's so sad. It's so sad. And no kid deserves to die at that age. I don't care if it's from war. I don't care if it's from a shooting spree. I don't care if it's from
unless he committed the shooting spree.
Well, unless it's from alcohol poisoning, or if it's from, eating a pot brownie and then freaking out and jumping over a 4-story foot balcony.
Which I still don't know. I just don't. Yeah.
Or whatever. It's sad and it's tragic, but let's be realistic about what constitutes a contributing factor, what circumstantial evidence really is, and then sensationalist headlines, come on, really?
First death related to marijuana. That's what it started.
It's the politicization of it. It's the politicization of it. It's just sad, and it's you know what? It's sad. Yeah. Don't politicize it. Yeah. Kids die every day from guns and from alcohol, way more than have ever died from marijuana, and
or just stupidity.
Or the only way.
Seriously though, I mean, little Darwin Awards going on all the time for kids in college.
The only way that marijuana ever contributes to the death of the youth is through the drug war. and through stray bullets.
I would
that
agree
is
with you on
that is the
I
only
do.
way
I
it
mean,
contributes.
the amount
that
of
is from-
deaths that are attributed, you can
through
take all the
prohibition.
amount of deaths that are attributed to prohibition to this one death, and no matter what, it's not going to hurt
That's the only way they know,
cause of
yeah.
legalized cannabis if people use logic, which is still.
I mean, if you want to talk about marijuana caused deaths, let's talk about the real deaths caused by prohibition. Drug cartels,
we can
stray
get into that in
bullets,
just a minute,
drug
but
dealing.
I
Yeah.
have to do a quick word from our sponsor.
Are you going to read it this time?
Yeah, unless you would like to read it.
No.
You don't want to read it?
lazy.
Okay, I'm going to read it. So, Medically Correct, the makers of Incredible Bars. New things are here from Incredibles. The new Makiba Bar is their own special version of a superfood granola bar. The Makiba Bar is actually packed with 20 different nuts and seeds. Ooh. It's got the protons.
Protons? It has protons.
It has protons.
And electrons.
It has the protein you need to go. It is actually a really good daytime bar. So they have 30 milligrams of the finest THC mixed with an extra 10 milligrams of pure CBD oil. So this is the bar for those who want to embody that Rocky Mountain high spirit. It is more powerful than it sounds. The Makiba Bar stands for My Kind of Bar, kind of in like a weird little shortage thing there. Yeah,
it's adorable.
Yeah, isn't that adorable? Mm-hmm. So you can ask them that your favorite dispensary. Just about every dispensary now in Colorado carries Incredibles products. So it's not going to be a hard thing to find those guys anywhere, and highly recommended. So
please only imbibe Incredibles if you are 21 and up. Thank you.
Or if you have a red card.
Or no, just
and don't go into a hotel room with a bunch of kids from Wyoming.
I was gonna make that joke, and I
thought,
no, inappropriate. You're so inappropriate. Look at you.
Yeah,
I love Incredibles. Actually, the other day, I posted a little snarky thing on Facebook, which we happened to be sitting in the town hall meeting they had last Friday for the caregiver bill. What does this look like? Which, for those who don't know, it's a recommendation coming out of Legislative Audit Committee to sort of figure out how they're going to handle a problem that maybe isn't really a problem, which is the caregivers. And they call it a giant loophole. And whatever it is, it's, you basically have a department that's not enforcing what they should have enforced. And now that they have much less of a burden on their hands, lower patient fees, all this other stuff, they don't really need to trim it down. They just need to enforce the laws they already have in place.
So how do you feel about the caregiver model? Norm, it's been around for a while. For those of you who don't know, a caregiver it's like a at home, like more personal dispensary. Not really, but like you have like your own private patients that you're a caregiver for.
Yeah, that's what the caregiver model is.
Yeah,
similar to a birth mother or whatever it is.
Midwife.
Right? A midwife. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a little gray market, and
a surrogate. Actually,
yeah.
I think that would be the better way. A surrogate mother.
A surrogate.
So you're going to be my surrogate, so I'm not going to grow the plants for my patient.
Exactly.
You're going to grow them for me.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So
surrogate.
We're sitting in this town hall, and this one guy gets up and he says he's the CVO for Rick Simpson's Phoenix Tears, and we're all like, CVO? It's a CVO, and he's like, that's a Chief Visionary Officer. And I really want that job.
I want that job.
I called it on Facebook. I said, I want that job. And then Medically Correct came on and said, all right, you're hired. So I'm going to become the
Medically
chief.
Incorrect?
No.
Oh.
I want to, though, as their Chief Visionary Officer.
See, to me, Chief Visionary Officer basically means you're like, you
probably get
run
high
the company and you like,
just get high and daydream all day, right?
It's like the dream job, isn't it? That's the dream right there.
The dream. Chief Visionary Officer. Wouldn't it be great if we could do this really cool
I don't have to do all the work.
Yeah.
Like for running the company, I just sit in a room and come up with concepts for the company.
Think of cool shit.
Yeah.
I would love to do that for my magazine. I would love to not have to do all the other BS that I have to do as a business owner.
CVO, not CEO.
No, CVO.
CVO. Yeah. But anyway, so that's where that was my segue.
What are you segueing into, though?
To the caregiver bill. I was waiting from incredibly,
we were already at the caregiver bill, so you didn't have to segue.
Well, you interrupt my segue, but it's okay. It's fine.
All right, well, let's just get back to the caregiver bill.
And I also wanted to talk about being a chief visionary officer, but
okay.
Whatever.
Well, vision your way back to the actual
back
caregiver
here.
model.
All right, we're back. Caregiver bill.
So are they talking about completely eliminating the caregivers, or are they talking about severely limiting them?
Well, first they want to limit 5 patients per caregiver and then 5 plants per patient. And they sent out letters to doctors to justify and patients to justify their plant counts, which I would say there's 2 things. 1, get a lawyer. 2,
if you're a doctor, you mean?
I would say so.
I would
consult a lawyer because that's a serious violation of some patients' privacies. And 3,
and there are doctors.
There's nothing wrong with
that.
there's nothing wrong with maybe giving an explanation as a doctor as to certain illnesses and what you think a plant count for that illness, but to assign them to certain patients or certain numbers. Say the reason I prescribed 55 for patient X means a violation because they have this illness and this is how many plants they need. Like, I think is a total violation of privacy. So
that's an interesting
there's
point.
That part.
That's
and
an
then
interesting point.
The second part is in the most disturbing part that they had drafted in there was that the patient database could be accessed by intergovernmental agencies.
Okay, that's not good.
Or contracts.
Contracts.
Contractors, independent contractors that they're working
that
with.
is not cool.
Is so not cool.
No.
Everyone should be afraid. I'm not like trying to like stir up anyone, but that's frightening.
That is frightening.
That's frightening.
More and more. Well,
a list. So now they get to look at the names and the plant counts of who they have and who they've designated as their caregiver. That's frightening.
Well, and what we're having is, okay, who are those contractors going to be? Oh,
exactly.
Let's guess. Are they going to be maybe like some of the people that maybe donate to Smart Colorado, like rehab facilities, so they can start put you on a mailing list?
Or think bigger than that. Think like drug enforcement agencies or the private people they hire. NSA, let's not forget. Like, I feel like I'm on such a tinfoil hat like spiel today, but I'm not. I think it is
it's conspiracy
to sit there and pretend that our government doesn't especially in law enforcement. We have private prisons, we have private security that we contract out to. That's what NSA did, and to sit there and say like that's how Edward Snowden was able to download millions of files, literally millions of files. Mm-hmm. You don't think someone could come do that with like patient names and then use that for law enforcement? Like sell it to whoever they want. Yep. Oh, I'll sell it to
I think what we're seeing, and maybe
it's frightening.
You can say we're getting off subject, but I actually think it's all encompassing.
Very on subject.
We're talking about the privatization of our government, of our public services, when you allow contractors to be able to do things that only like somebody in government that you can control.
First of all, intergovernmental agencies is too broad, but second,
yes.
but yeah, let's forget about the contracts. But even that's
Well, and a perfect example would be the Supreme Court decision that happened yesterday. That I don't know if anybody else, you guys are aware. I know you're aware of this, Samantha. A lot of people don't follow what's going on in the Supreme Court.
I don't.
Okay, well let me backtrack to Citizens United first of all.
Don't you think you're getting a little off subject?
Not at all, because we're talking about the corporatization of our government. And I think that all of that relates to what happens with our government here and what relates to how government makes decisions in regards to cannabis
Citizens
legalization.
United, there's the ruling that said basically money equals speech. You
Which
could give
basically said
unlimited
corporations are people too.
Yes. And then there was a ruling yesterday
Even
about
though they don't have organs.
So what that said
for our country,
so what that said is Citizens United basically said you could donate to a 527 and remain anonymous. And now this latest one says like, but as long as there is no collusion between the 527 and a campaign's candidate, they could run on similar issues.
Yes.
So now we have you can donate to a candidate unlimited. There's
Unlimited.
No cap in it.
So
unlimited.
Huge corporations can now donate as much money as
$10
they
million
want to a candidate and not have to show necessarily that they donated that much money, right? From Citizens United.
Yeah.
So now they can be very secretively donating to these people. And then, now we're saying that basically any of us as people, even though we pay more taxes than these corporations, because we do, I pay more taxes than Apple does. Actually, everybody in this room pays more taxes than Apple does, which is really disturbing.
Which is why you don't buy look on you say that on your Mac with your Mac.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think it changes for any other large corporation? Do you think that it matters how big it is? GE, whatever it is, they're not paying any taxes. I guarantee you, the biggest companies that we use on a regular basis aren't paying for shit
because of all the loopholes.
Because of all the loopholes that they've created.
But they create jobs.
Yeah, but actually, the true job creators are consumers in the middle class.
Yeah.
The job creators are people like you and I, and I don't know if you're middle class. I don't know if I'd say I'm in middle class, but anybody who's a purchaser on a regular basis, we're actually
no. I'm definitely low class.
But we actually contribute to job creation more than those guys do because
because we're a consumer-based economy.
As a business owner myself, I'm not I don't consider myself a job creator. Yes, I want to hire more people, but I only hire people if I have to hire people. And I only have to hire people if I'm increasing my revenue and my company grows. And the only way my company grows is if more clients are advertising with us. The only way more clients are advertising with us is if more purchasers are out there for the cannabis industry buying more products so that they need to compete and then they have to spend money on advertising. There's this whole the trickle-down effect starts from the middle class and the purchasing. It doesn't start from the companies that are at the top.
No, because we're a consumer and service-based economy and we're not and the United States isn't a manufacturing-based economy really anymore.
But the more you have corporates
until we legalize weed, then we're going to be manufacturing tons of shit.
I've been working in Pueblo for the past couple of months. We're building a huge grow down there.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Now, are you guys going to do mostly wholesale then to the dispensaries, or you?
No, we're going to get a store in the whole 9 yards. Yeah, we're getting a medical license and then getting the rec license
Out in Pueblo.
Yeah.
Pueblo's
that's
a great
awesome.
little market right now. I mean, Marisol has been kind of dominating it down there, but I think that's going to be changing. Well, it helps that Colorado Springs hasn't gotten off their ass and legalized adult use. So that helps people to drive the Pueblo.
Here's the crazy
Terrible city. Sorry if you live in Actually, I'm not sorry if you live in Colorado Springs. If you live in Colorado Springs, shame.
No, I'm
shame.
sorry, because I lived in Colorado Springs for 6 years, and there's a lot of great things about the Springs, but none of it has anything to do with the government.
Everybody bought all this land down in Pueblo to grow outdoor weed.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be some sandy-ass weed because it's so windy down there.
There's no way they can grow it out there, really.
No, they'll have to get greenhouses.
Marisol does have is one of the only 2 outdoor grows, and I think there may be a couple more now, but they were one of the only licensed ones. I think the interesting thing, because I don't think you're going to want to grow outdoor cannabis in Pueblo, not just for the climate reasons, but for the fact that you're going to see more and more hemp being grown.
Hemp. I knew you were going with
You
hemp.
knew I was going to go to hemp.
Hemp.
But you're going to see more and more hemp being grown. And if you're not a 7 to 8 mile buffer away from a hemp farm, there's definite risk of cross-pollination and
Just grow
and degradation
inside,
of your
weed
crops.
growers. Let us grow our hemp outside.
We bought a bunch of land down there just for waiting for the right person to step in and offer us money for it.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yes.
Since I have the 10 people who are listening, I met with the city. What? If any of them are interested in some land available, I know the city of Aurora owns a plot of land out by the airport, which they want to use. It's got water rights, it's got water access, and they want to use it just to grow hemp.
Why don't they do it then?
Well, they want to do it. They want to private. They want to do a private partnership or public-private partnership with someone who will be doing it for research and probably whatever these put out an RFP, because then they would have sort of rights to. All right, we'll let you build on this land or grow on this land. Figure out your new widget that you're going to make out of the hemp, and then but when you build a factory, you build it here with our jobs, and they get to lead the way in that kind of R&D.
Right.
So that's just what they want to do. They just want to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. The good news is there have been applicants. Is the process over for applying to have a license to grow hemp in Colorado?
No.
It's still going for another few weeks, right?
Yeah, May 1st, and then
1st.
it'll probably be a stopgap, and then we're gonna the hemp cleanup bill pass, and then they'll have it changed so you can just register to grow in a time frame that the department sets the rule, which I think will just be year round. So you just have to register prior to planting.
Right.
And
but we're looking at dozens of farmers have already applied to grow hemp this year, as opposed to the one we had last year.
About 20 or 30, I think, so far.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean it's
it is.
it's amping
And
it
we
up.
know seed is an issue. We're working on it. There's going to be a seed. There's going to be a seed certification program developed here in the state that will allow for organic, or not organic, original Colorado heritage seed that's been developed here in Colorado or is currently present in Colorado. And as well as the Department of Ag will hopefully recognize other certified seed from around the world, whether it's Ukraine, which, saw that story. That's really awesome.
Yep.
Canada,
you want to talk about that story from the
European. Yeah, we'll go to that. So European Union, Canada, Ukraine, Australia, wherever people want it, and they'll recognize that, and then hopefully we can get it imported.
There is a potential problem, though, correct? On hemp seeds, they're saying that there may be some of the seeds we're getting from Europe aren't hitting the stringent requirements that we have here in Colorado of being less than 0.3%.
Well, that's why you should do R&D first, because you can grow up to 1% with a waiver. If it tests up to 1%,
They need to change that.
You have a
ruling,
waiver.
I think we can get it. If we're down to 1% THC, I think we're all good. Really?
Well, that would have
Come
to
on.
get changed through.
I mean,
here's the problem: is that it's constitutionally defined in Amendment 64. But I'm sure they can say that
that was one mistake I would say from Amendment 64.
But I would
have said 1%.
But you could change it statutorily, and as long as the entire cannabis plant is legal in Colorado, then you're just saying, look, when the THC is up to this certain point, you're in this program, and then if you're growing anything higher, you're in this program.
Well, yeah, but that program still, even if you're over 0.3%, should be I can still use
No,
this
I'm
as an
saying
industrial crop.
if you're growing anything higher, and then 1%, then you're in med,
Right?
Because you're growing marijuana,
Right.
I wouldn't go higher than 1%. I know.
I agree.
but
I
just
agree
don't
with
go.
you. I agree. Well, one of the things that I think is interesting, though, is that CBDs are not limited in our state constitution. So when it comes to hemp, you can grow a hemp plant that's very high in CBD, and it's not going to be regulated at all comparatively, which is awesome. So now we're looking at possibly having hemp strains here that are very high in CBD.
Yeah, and I think that I think that we have some of the more talented breeders in this state and developers and crop developers, and I think they're going to get it down. Just because the seed comes in, you get it tested, so you spend a growing season getting it right, but you're still well ahead of a lot of other people in the country. So you're fine.
So we've been rambling on and on about all this news here.
But now we can talk about
we got to talk about Bong-A-Thong. We got to go for another break that we're just going to play.
A real break?
We're going to go on a real break.
Wow.
I know.
I'm hungry. Is there food?
No. And Chris Jetter just came in the room as well.
Hey, look at that hair. It's flowing.
On top of the cube.
So we're going to go to this break, and we'll be right back to talk about this year's Bong-A-Thon and what we have to look forward to. We'll be right back.
How long is the break?
Cannapunch is a delicious and effective medical marijuana beverage proudly made right here in Colorado. Each bottle is freshly infused with 100% pure flower extract from the highest grade marijuana plants available today. Using proprietary extraction methods, every bottle of Cannapunch is consistently and reliably infused with an exact milligram dosage that you can count on to relieve your symptoms each and every time. Cannapunch is delicious. There's never any medicine-y taste. We use only 100% cannabis flowers. No trim or byproducts are ever used in Cannapunch. It does not require refrigeration and comes in convenient, resealable multi-dose bottles from 60 milligrams to 200 milligrams. We have drinks with dosage that works best for you. Cannapunch is available in a variety of delicious flavors like black cherry, watermelon, pineapple mango, and blue raspberry. And we now have strain-specific beverages available just for you. Cannapunch is delicious, convenient, consistent, and effective. Give it a try and experience the Cannapunch difference.
Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 for all your insurance needs. Connoisseur understands the risks you face each day, and we are there to protect your business and your investment. Since 2010, Connoisseur has been serving the cannabis industry nationwide. Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 or visit us on the web at connoisseur.com to learn more about our insurance and risk management services. Proud member of the NCIA.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
High up in the Rockies is beautiful Frisco, Colorado. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is a medical marijuana center with compassion for Colorado's medical patients. Looking for great meds grown organically in soil? You've come to the right place. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is just off I-70 at exit 203. Check them out at the web at www.mmrockies.com. Their ever-changing strain and clone selection is updated on the website daily. When making a trip to the mountains, no matter the season, stop by Medical Marijuana of the Rockies. Make sure you say you heard about them on iCannabis Radio. You can call 970-668-MEDS to get more information. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, your mountain source for meds.
The Law Office of Edson Maton and Matz provides criminal defense, family law, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running a medical marijuana center, optional premises cultivation operation, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout the state of Colorado. We're focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. WarrenEdson.com. Edson Maton and Matz in Denver, 303-831-8188, and in Aspen, 970-948-7183. WarrenEdson.com.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
All right, so we're back, and right before the break, Chris Jetter joined us. So now we want to get into Bong-A-Thong, because that's why we have Norm and Chris here in the first place. We talked about how Samantha and I had a blast.
So fun.
So much fun last Bong-A-Thon. We did the video, which has been actually picking up in popularity now. Even more so on Cannabis Tube. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, THC TV is now the third most watched channel.
I didn't know that was still happening.
It is. We're now the third most watched channel on CannabisTube.net. And Cannabis Tube has channels where it's got they're showing the Daily Show clips and the Colbert Report, and we're like, this.
I gotta talk to what's his face? Who's our producer? Rick.
What's his face?
Sad that
What's his face?
You call him a stoner.
But anyway.
He's my producer.
You can check Sam and I out on CannabisTube.net on THC TV, and it kind of shows us at Bong-A-Thong.
Yeah.
And there's a fun little video and some interviews in there, some of our winners. But great event. It seems like it's getting bigger every year. So what do you guys have planned for this year?
Well, this year it's going to be, we're going to do the same festivities. We're going to have the Bong-A-Thong, which is an individual comp, 7 grams individual competition. Last year, Mark Rice won that in 5 minutes, 26 seconds to smoke a quarter ounce. Ridiculous. I know, and it is ridiculous. And unless you actually sit there and watch him do it, like you have a hard time believing.
You do, and we did watch it, and it was just like, it was pretty intense.
But yeah, he definitely does that. He claims he's retired. I don't know. He might Brett Favre it. We'll see.
Oh, come on, he's Brett Favre it.
I'm retired too.
Are you? Are you Brett Favre?
I prefer calling it Michael Jordaning.
You call it Michael Jordaning?
Yeah.
Well, Brett Favre it is if you do it as a prick. Jordaning is like I just can't help but get back into this.
My boss sucks.
Sorry if anybody out there is a big Brett Favre fan.
Maybe he's Jordaning then. I'm not sure.
He might be Jordaning.
But anyway, then we're gonna do the open Bong-A-Thong event, which is basically bring your bong, your 3.5 grams. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and so we'll be doing that event as well. We've always had good times on that. A lot of those people that compete in that event could realistically win individual if they jumped in, or at least
use their brains in the right way anyway to jump in on that contest.
Yeah, so now if they're bringing in their own bong, is there a distinct advantage to a certain type of bong for that kind of event?
I don't know, and that's probably a good question.
Do you want to know what the distinct advantage of that contest is?
What is that?
Breaking out about a quarter ounce of weed right now and just letting it set on the tray.
Dry the heck out of it.
That's it right there. That's the only advantage you could have.
Yeah, because on that event, it's your weed, so you're smoking your 3. We'll verify the weight. But.
I'm already picturing how you can change that result. You're walking behind all the competitors with a little spray bottle of water.
There will be.
It should be one of those. There are no rules. Let's just see who can be the cleverest person.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, speaking of are no rules,
I would just go and start blowing out people's eyes.
Yeah.
Team Bong-A-Thong is there are no rules event,
right?
And so that is 5-man hookahs. They have to smoke an ounce. And it's true to the term, there are no rules. So basically, we get you in the tent. Once you're in the tent, we won't let you leave the tent to go retrieve anything. But
but once you're there,
if you brought it with you, torches, grinders,
because you're an experienced hookah contest,
large funnel bowls that'll clog down stems
blow
quickly,
torches.
whatever you're into.
It was the Thrown Together team this past summer that won it.
Yeah,
with, Adam Dunn and a couple of it was the All-Star team.
Pony Boy from Los Marijuanas, and there was a few guys on there that were just kind of sitting around, and we called the guy. The guy had prepaid the slot, had his team, and we called and he never showed up. So we ended up getting this impromptu celebrity team together, and they crushed it. Man.
They crushed it. I want to say that I think Adam Dunn was like the point man on that team because he just had that blow. We have the footage of that one, and he just had that torch on that the funnel.
That amazing! I took that amazing footage.
Yes, you did take that.
That was a great angle.
Between him and Pony Boy, they were just, and there was still a lot of weed on the stage that I had to make them put back in the hookah and smoke it because they had a lot flying.
Yeah, it kept blowing up straight up out of the hookah and stuff.
But no, that was impressive. And actually, our producer Chris ended up taking part in the team on that. You were on Mark Rice's team, were you not? Yeah.
So you got second?
They got second, I think.
All right.
But third.
First loser. Oh, so second loser.
But you could see Chris, and Chris, I would say Chris is, he's a veteran. But oh no, there was a difference. Because you could see he was turning green. He was he had to pause a lot, and they were taking over for him. It was definitely impressive. That was, I think, one of the more impressive events.
I went into the singles competition unprepared last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared at all.
I think between that and
putting out the fire,
you guys had to run to put out the fire.
All that didn't help the city, and it was hot up there. It
was a hot day too.
When is it this year?
It's going to be August 2nd, so Friday's
still hot.
Yeah, it'll be hot.
It's always the first weekend in August every year.
It is. Okay.
And we say August 2nd. But that's just the day of the competition.
Which is a Saturday.
We actually invite people up from Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it's
Sunday.
a camping extravaganza. Yep. It's fun. It's Joe Megacy and I are going to go to Country Jam in Grand Junction. It's just going to be so... You guys don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know what
you know what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not
it's like
the
that,
same.
you know, but that's alcohol field and this is marijuana field. Although we'll be like live rolling blunts, I think, at Country Jam. It'll be fun.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll have 25 kegs of complimentary beer at Bong-A-Thong.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to
No, there
get
was
your
definitely
alcohol on,
there was definitely drinking
can,
at
you know.
Bong-A-Thong, yeah.
Are you limiting how many people you guys are going to be letting in for
Yeah,
tickets?
we limit it every year, and that's the thing. It is an invitational. It is a private event, so we do limit the invitations. We haven't met that limitation over the last couple of years. We've allowed a little bit more than the limit has filled up for. So there's usually plenty of invitations. The one thing that we don't want is it's not the Warped Tour. It's not 30,000 people or 12,000 people all up in one space for a concert. It is a how would you say it would be a very nice party for industry people that want to be at the event, that like the chill environment, that want to have a good time and don't have to worry about the dude around the corner that's just getting wasted drunk.
And we've always advertised it as a tradecation.
It is. There's very much a community feel there. We got
everybody brings their wares. And
we
their
actually
business,
got on the guys at the clinic who do the golf tournament.
Yeah, right.
Because they held it on the same weekend, and we had to come back and do the filming for the clinic golf
on
tournament.
Sunday,
which that was rough. And we all told them, and I know they heard from you guys. There was communication. It was like, look, you should not do this on the same weekend. And they actually did change it for that very reason, which is very cool of them.
Yeah, it was very nice of them, and I would like to invite all the people of the clinic to come up and participate in Bong-A-Thong this year. It's a great time, and we definitely want you guys up there. So.
We want to invite everybody to come to the Bong-A-Thong.
There's a trampoline
before the tickets sell out.
There's a pool.
Yeah, there was a we have
cornhole.
We have a best campsite contest.
Yes.
Whoa, I know. Don't give away the
cornhole.
Wait, don't say watch the Whoa, hey.
There's
cornhole.
Cornhole, not cornholing. Cornhole, the little.
The game, the sandbag.
The sandbag.
Well, I'm all like, what other changes you guys got going on? I didn't hear about this cornhole thing.
Wait, you didn't know what cornhole was? Are you kidding me?
They had the redneck golf shit also. Remember they had the thing with the string between it, and they'd throw it and it had to wrap around the poles?
Yeah.
Well, and this is the thing. It's, we put... Last year we started it, and we'll continue it on, but we do the best campsite contest. Yes. And so literally, whatever you guys can come up with, wrap your head around and
Who even won that last year?
Well, that was Club or Camp 13, wasn't it?
I think that one.
Yeah, and the thing is that we had Purple Haze donate the items for the winners on that, and they gave us a box. I mean, they had a receipt in it, and it was like almost $1,500 worth of stuff that was in the box that they had donated
for the best camp
contest.
Wow.
Yeah, there was vaporizers and whippets, and I mean the blunts. There was all kinds of stuff in there, and then we even donated the Pure had sent us almost a 2-foot bong that had like a 32 perk tree in it. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, and we included that in there. So
those guys are cool. Actually, we're getting a whole bunch of product from them soon too.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they donated for the fastest gram last year and gave us a bunch of kickdowns for the raffles and stuff. So yeah, and we certainly appreciate that.
We're looking for somebody that wants to be the beer sponsor this year. Like a bar or a liquor store or somebody.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Or even a microbrew. I mean,
PBR, man. PBR.
There's plenty of microbrews in the States.
Oh,
there
yeah.
are.
Or any of the rec stores or medical stores that just say, "Hey, I want to
be a beer sponsor.
I want to be the beer sponsor. Put my name on it, and we will."
Right on.
Like the just figuring out there, like the clinic kegs.
Clinic kegs. Well, yeah, we'll even put
just
clinic stickers
on
it.
Yeah.
We'll put you in the ice sculpture. Did you guys remember the ice sculpture from last year? Did you get there?
I don't know if I got to see the ice sculpture. When was it? Did you?
Friday night.
It was Friday night?
Yeah, so what we did is we had this smokable ice sculpture design.
I didn't get to see that.
You didn't see
It was
that?
right
I
up
just
by
don't
the
think.
bus.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically what we did is we had
I remember.
We had all our
No,
sponsors.
You don't. You didn't make it past being inside the bus and leaving, so
That is a lie.
it's not a lie.
It's totally a lie.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 feet tall, and it was a functional water pipe on one
That's
side
cool.
and a functional rig on the other side, and it was a full ice sculpture. And we unveiled it Friday night, and we put all of our sponsors in the actual ice sculpture. We had all their logos pressed into that ice sculpture. So there's a lot of photos on the Facebook /Bat Colorado.
Oh, it's fun. And just think of it as like, even if you only want to go up for 2 days, like it's 2 days of camping.
Oh.
It really is. It's fun. It's like
With unlimited beer and
with
cannabis,
unlimited
actually.
beer,
It was
hot,
like-
but like whatever. Yeah, it's like a big adult camping party. It's great.
Like
Yeah.
every camp you walk by, somebody's like trying to hand you a bong and
Well, no, and there got to a point when I remember we were sitting around our campsite making s'mores with the Incredibles boulder bars, and we were like, they were that is
smart,
a good
right?
shit right there, by the way. And we were like, but we were at that point when we were like, people were handing out joints to us and we were smoking them, and I was like, I'm not getting any higher anymore. It got to the point where it was just like socially just enjoying a joint with somebody else and trying what they had to offer as opposed, and we would trade what we had. But we got to that point where we were just like, I'm just like right where I'm at. I couldn't get any higher.
And intimate is the key word that I was looking for. Like, we wanted to be an intimate industry party, and then all the hardcore dudes that just happen to get an invitation get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that way, when you do go from camp to camp to camp, you've got that homey, friendly feel. Everybody wants to say hi. Everybody wants you to sit around and have a marshmallow around the campfire, suck down a dab. I mean, it's just a really enjoyable weekend under the stars.
It was one of those things where it was like, God, I mean, what was it, like 600 people last year about that?
We had about 1,000 last year.
Was it 1,000?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. We had to
That's
leave.
so intimate.
It's so but wherever your campsite was, like, it was always those people that you would walk by the same campsites on your way to the main area.
We were camped right next to Jenny Cush and Jeremy. That was so much fun. They had an amazing campsite.
They did have an amazing campsite.
Yeah, and on 180 acres, 1,000 people is pretty intimate.
It is pretty intimate. You're absolutely right. There was mostly a lot of space. But the thing I would say is there was not one rude person the entire weekend to any of us, any of our group. Everybody just was having a good time. You could have walked into a random stranger's campsite and next just started talking, which you did frequently, and then just start talking to them and then just hang out. Next come to our campsite. We'll share, by the fire with you guys too. And it was just one of the best feelings I've ever had of any kind of camping group that I've ever been in.
And that's the thing. Like, that's the one thing about Bong-A-Thong, and it's held its magic for years and decades now. When I went to my first Bong-A-Thong in 1995, I won Bong-A-Thong that year, and it was really, it had the same feel, the same smell, the same area. The people were family. They all, were nice to you and would talk to you. And, I was really struck by it when I went originally. Like, I expected a bunch of 20-year-olds up there. And when I got up there, it was basically every age group up there. And that really amazed me.
And a lot of bikers.
Yeah, a lot of bikers
at that time.
Mm-hmm. And that still holds true today. Like, a lot of people think you're going to get up there and see just 20-somethings. But it's not 20-somethings. It's 30-somethings, 40-somethings, 50-somethings. Mark Rice, who won Bong-A-Thong last year, he's over 50 years old.
Is he really?
He's 51 this year. I'm 48.
Yeah. Norm won 2 years ago. So
wow.
And since we brought the party back in 2010, I've
hot is
got
the
3
elixir of
trophies.
youth. I just have to say that.
It really is.
It really is. It is. I've yet to meet people who
look older than their age. Yeah.
Just weird for being around so much smoke. Because it's supposed to age your skin, but it's like,
good point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a competitive smoker.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
That's right.
That too.
So, and this year we're also doing the relay Bong-A-Thong, which is the 7-man teams. Each man gets a gram. So you smoke a quarter ounce. The bong is the baton. That's always a fun one.
That is cool.
Then we'll be doing fastest gram all weekend. So if you think you can crush out a gram,
you show up and there's somebody there to time you. And you do the fastest gram.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I think last year Bear won at like 46 seconds.
I thought it was 30 something.
Was it? Maybe it was high 30s. But yeah, so you got to, Can
you do whatever your bowl or bong is on that one, or do you?
No, we will have competition tubes for that. So we try to level the playing field on that.
Do you have to break it up like you do on the fastest quarter?
No, what we do is basically we put the gram on the tray, and then you're not allowed to touch it until we say go, and then you've got to break it up, put it in the bowl, light it,
or however it smokes best for you. You get it in the bowl and smoke it.
46 seconds.
Hey, now this kid Bear we're talking about, we've got a tattoo shop down on Colfax, and we literally weighed out a gram and cleaned it and put it all in one bowl for him, and he smoked the whole gram in one hit, and it took 12 seconds to suck it down.
And we may be doing tandem gram as well. And basically tandem gram is basically two people. You get one guy that gets the load and light, and your other guy also
like
gets
how you guys do the fastest quarter.
Yeah, well, it's fastest gram, but the other guy just gets to suck. Like, he doesn't even get to pull the bowl out either.
So did you guys just have fun just coming up with new competitions?
Pretty much.
It's
Pretty
that
much.
it's that CVO thing we were talking about, the Chief Visionary
yeah.
Officer.
Do you guys have a CVO? Because I would make an excellent one. I'm just wondering.
We're taking any assistance we can get.
Who do I send my resume to?
Right
We've
here.
got like 4 CVOs.
You do? No, I
Yeah.
want to be the only. I want to be the.
I just want to be in on every like CVO or visionary meeting because that's basically just everybody sitting around a room, getting high, coming up with different ideas. That's what the visionary.
I just want to
meetings
put
are.
that on my resume. I was the chief visionary officer for
the
this.
Bong-A-Thong.
Colorado Invitational.
What does that mean?
Now we're gonna have to change up our dab out contest
Are you?
because it wasn't rough enough last year.
It wasn't rough enough
No,
last year.
George did what? 21 dabs,
26.
27.
26.
Holy fuck.
26 or 7.
Before
gram
what? Before he
dabs.
just he tapped out. He was like, I'm done.
You had to do them in a minute.
1
you had a
minute
minute
increments.
a piece to do each one, for
And
as long as you could do.
That's to get your nail heated up yourself.
Right.
Get it on there and dab, cough as much as you need to, and you have 1 minute in between dabs to get the next one on that nail and dabbing, or you're disqualified.
That's insane.
And so he did 2.7 grams, 27 minutes. A little less than a half an hour. He smoked 2.7.
So each dab is 0.10.
Yes.
Okay.
And a .10
Or
dab
0.1, yeah.
is a lot bigger than anybody would
It
really
is a lot
think.
bigger than people think. Well, one is fine. You're like, okay, that's kind of big, but I'm good. But
I'm
27.
cool. 27 of them.
That's insane.
And the second place was a girl up there. She pulled down 14 of them before George stepped up and did his
Right.
27. So she smoked 1.4 grams.
Wow.
Now TL has this dab gauntlet
Yeah.
that's insane. Like after 4 dabs, it goes from 30 seconds to 20 seconds. And after 3 dabs, it goes from 20 seconds to 10 seconds.
It's like
Maybe
interval
we should-
training in CrossFit.
Should
only
we
you're doing
reiterate that
dabs
no
instead.
one has ever died from this? Because I feel like
Hey, they filmed on Nightline. This girl did 11 dabs in a row. And that's in like 4.5 minutes.
Wow.
You know, so
Well, you can't die from it, but I will say this: if you've never smoked, like if you're not a cannabis smoker and then you try dabbing, you're gonna get sick.
you should do some kind of safety warning
Well,
right now. I
and
think.
not only that,
please,
but I think
please
it's
dab responsibly.
Yeah, I think it's the kids that come in out of state, like they come in that
Yes.
are part-time stoners, on the weekend guys, and they do a dab,
and you'll see a lot of that in this
crap.
420. All
or
the
they
people
show up
coming in.
with a bunch of guys from Wyoming.
Or coach you guys from Wyoming and end up over a balcony. Oh, that's messed up.
That's terrible.
messed up.
Oh
That's
my
so
god,
bad.
dude! Who would make a joke like that?
Anybody in this room right now would make a joke like that. That's the problem right now. Oh, it's so messed up, but hysterical.
Oh,
Exactly.
we had to
Look,
scrub this from the internet.
we do have to
later.
say, look, we do have to say again. Let's just say, look,
Please
it's very
dab-
tragic that it happened to
It
this
is,
guy.
and please consume responsibly whatever you're consuming. This
Yeah.
is for professionals. This is for professional smokers, the Bong-A-Thong, right? Maybe we should say that. Should we?
Yeah.
Should we pro and amateur this?
Well,
shit?
yeah,
should really
because
kind of say that.
Yeah.
It should be
I
a pro
definitely would
amateur
never
deal.
go to a hot dog eating contest and try to jam down 71 hot dogs down my throat.
That's true.
Right.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
That's a really good point.
I
No,
would-
exactly.
They'd
It's
be
like,
doing
Or I
CPR on me and
yeah,
shit.
you don't do this contest if you've never even done more than
or run
5 dabs in
or-
a row. I mean, you don't even think about it.
or run like a 10-mile, run a marathon.
You're right.
Or
That's what
10K
it would-
or
it is
something
equivalent
without a
of doing
little
something
bit
like
of
that.
training because you probably have like a heart attack or something.
Like that's what
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
did. Chris, our producer, when he did the 5-man hookah, that was like jumping right into a race that he did not train for. And how did that go for you, Chris?
Did you shit yourself? Because I once heard of a guy who was running a marathon without training and shat his pants. It's true. It's true. They talk about how marathon runners they're so determined. They're so determined that sometimes they'll shit themselves.
If you would like Samantha
They're
Walsh to represent your company as a lobbyist, you can call
As your
555.
CVO.
They're using
your
a lot of
CVO.
fiber, keep their body fat down.
Yeah, see, they do. See, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. They do. They poo themselves sometimes at marathons. So I was just curious.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's where we've gone today.
Well, if I did 21 dabs in a row, I would totally shit myself.
First of all, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even get to I don't think I'd get to 8 dabs in a row. I really
At
don't.
TL's contest, they were clowning. They were like, how many can you do? I was like 2? They were like, funny how I do it. I stepped up, man. I couldn't even go past 2. I was just choking, dude. I was
Right.
like, what the hell?
Well, because it's not even like how high can I get anymore. I mean, it's just
No, it's how high can you get and how much your choking capacity
Exactly.
for coughing can take at that point.
You're more smoke inhalated when you're doing like the singles competition or the hookah competition. You're smoke inhalated is what it is.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like if you notice, the people that win that competition, as soon as they're done, they stand up and they're out of that tent.
Yes.
As fast as they
you
can.
got to go breathe some fresh
You
air.
got to get that oxygen because all of a sudden you're hot.
Yep.
It's an adrenaline rush.
Is that ever a concern that maybe somebody might die from smoke inhalation?
Basically, we would
pretty
have to strap them with a gas mask
Exactly.
and not let them take it off.
It would be like that study that they did. Remember they said,
With the
exactly
monkeys.
right.
What
The
they
Ronald
did- they
Reagan
did- yes,
study.
the Ronald Reagan
that
study
said
where
that
they-
marijuana was fatal.
Yeah.
Well, when you strap smoke to a monkey's head and you don't let it breathe any fresh air, it will die.
Yeah.
But then again, when you're competitive, some of those breaths of air you're taking are nothing
But smoke, yeah.
off the bong too. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe we should have oxygen, maybe not around all the blowtorches.
Yeah, you
but-
just
Yeah,
your
let's
body
not do
will
that.
not allow yourself
Yeah.
to
he's
to,
right.
to asphyxiate yourself on the bong.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, you couldn't. How could you do that? You'd be like, I'm not getting any oxygen, but let me keep smoking. No,
I
you're
think
going to stop.
I think
You're
you'd puke first.
You would probably puke first.
You'd probably
you're right.
pass out and
Yeah,
puke first,
yeah.
for sure.
You would. Yeah, I don't think there's a
Maybe
big risk
shit
on
your
that.
pants.
I
Who
would
knows?
think that the
Just
things
throw
that you
that out
guys
there.
have to worry about the most at Bong-A-Thon is heat exhaustion, stroke, things like that, because it can get so hot in the first weekend of August, when you're out in an open field.
Well, unfortunately,
those are more the concerns.
Yeah, and you got some old men like me up there trying to smoke a quarter ounce of weed in like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and please, when you're up at Bong-A-Thon, bring lots of water.
Lots of water.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Anyone who's traveling that high altitude, getting that high.
Yeah, we went
in that hot
through
sun, drink some water.
our campsite went through at least 3 huge cases of water,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I'm a safety first kind of gal.
You are a safety
I'm
first
just
kind of
making
gal.
sure, like-
And if you're going to do as many dabs as Samantha's worried about, wear some Depends.
Yes.
So safety first so that you don't make a mess in your shorts.
Or just wear a skirt.
We're looking for a new sponsor. Depends.
Man, if she's wearing a skirt at this party,
Oh, man. Oh, wow. That's
A
hysterical.
brown one. It covers it up dark.
Covers
Can't
it
see
up.
anything.
Yep.
That's my own version of booty popping shorts. I just wear Depends. Cover that up, guys.
Hey, just so your listeners know, I mean, because people that don't listen to this, we're gonna have bands up there too.
Oh, there is. I was gonna bring
I
up
wanted to
music.
get to the music, but we went on this. Yeah, okay.
shitting your pants rampage.
God, we have
Also,
turned into
another
Howard Stern.
kind of rampage that's
Oh,
bad.
yes.
Yeah,
But as far as music, because you guys do have some great music
yeah,
up there. usually.
and we're gonna have some comedians up there too. I think we're gonna get Chuck Roy to come up and
Nice.
do a set. And
Can I do a set?
I heard last night that he agreed.
Well, yeah, everything's not inked,
So-
but yeah, we're there pretty much.
Yeah,
So
cool.
Chuck
Well-
Roy and then
Right on.
Can I do a set?
sure.
You want to open for Chuck Roy? You want to open
No,
for
but I want to maybe open mic one night. Like I go up there, bong with that. Everybody's high, so it's like easy audience,
You seen
easiest
how
audience
bad
ever.
she had us rolling just now?
She did. I know. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I'd go up there, do an open mic. I'd be like, hey, what's
Yeah.
up?
I'm sure we can pencil you in.
Yes. They're like, you will be at 8 a.m. when everybody's asleep. I'll do it too. I'll get on the loud phone. I'll get all the speakers. You can hear it everywhere. Wake your ass up.
Did
in the
you
morning.
hear? Did Doug tell you what happened on April Fool's Day?
No.
Somebody told Ricky Tribby that he was in charge of the music, so he started telling bands that they were playing. And
Yeah, I heard we were gonna have a Slayer tribute band up there.
Yes!
Sweet.
That's awesome. Can we carve Slayer into our arms too?
No, you guys, you have a great entertainment up there. It's funny because you guys have the music going. It seems like really Saturday was when it really was like really amping up too.
Yeah, everything.
Right when we had to leave.
I mean, well, this is the thing. Friday is a blowout party Friday night.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets off work, comes up there and parties as hard as they can for as late as they can. And then by the time the sun hits you at 7:15 in the morning, and starts really burning in your tent, you're out of it by 8, 9
Yep.
o'clock.
Yeah, you
And
are.
so that gives you like 3 hours or so before we actually start kicking off the competition of Bong-A-Thong at high noon.
Is there just music that one night, or is it? For a
No,
few
we
nights?
do. We do music Friday night. We do music all day Saturday and Saturday night.
Cool.
And then, of course, Sunday, when you guys were at the clinic last year for the golf tournament, hungover. Most people are packing up hungover and then making their way back down the mountain.
hey, if the stage and everything is set up on Thursday like it's supposed to, open mic night for her.
Open
Dude,
mic
8
night.
a.m., y'all. I'll be there.
8 a.m. She says Friday morning.
Yeah,
But I will
right.
say, that weekend, I felt like I was back in college and I was partying like my butt off because we were working,
It
we were
was a
filming.
lot of fun.
And then I woke up, I get to the clinic, and all of us are just bleary eyed, puffy, just like dope over it. And the first thing that happens is the joint cart girls pull right up and hand me like 4 joints for our golf cart, and then somebody else pulls up
Oh, yeah.
the beer, and so like within like 10 minutes, I'm in a golf cart holding a beer, smoking a joint, and like, oh well, this is how I'm getting out of this hangover.
Yeah, pretty much.
The cure.
Yeah, definitely. It was like we were partying like rock stars that weekend. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's a party. Like
It is.
you go to Cannabis Cup, it feels like a trade show. You can smoke lots of weed there. You go to a lot of the various events in and around town, and it's kind of the same theme. Everybody's kind of standing around looking at each other, and we're all smoking weed, which there's nothing wrong with it. But when you come to Bong-A-Thong, man, you're going to be entertained all
weekend.
damn day Saturday.
And it's not a commercial thing. I mean, yeah, we were sponsors with other sponsors there, but there's nobody like pushing their products really on you. I mean, there were booths and they're there to talk to you about it. But it was really just all these companies getting a chance to have their own campsite and just welcoming people in and getting to know people and just hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I tell sponsors, my sponsors every year always, the first thing that I have with a Virgin sponsor is, can I bring a booth up? And my response is always, yeah, you can bring a booth up.
be a
It's
waste of
fine.
time,
You can spread
but-
it out there. That's cool. Like, if you want to sit in the booth all weekend, that's fine. But ultimately what happens is you get up there, your first experience, and you realize it's like the biggest bash, and it's like one of the greatest times you've had at all the events. And at that point, you don't want to be sitting in a booth. You want to be out partying in everybody else's campsites and having a good time.
And there's
So-
stuff happening all weekend, like that fastest gram.
Yep.
It'll start at a certain time. It'll run a couple days. And didn't you, last year when we did our interview, didn't you try to do a
I
fastest
was
gram?
hoping we wouldn't bring that up.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, that was after. It was.
Oh,
after.
here. You mean
Yeah,
here?
I mean
Yeah,
here. No, no,
I
no,
did
no,
too,
no.
and I coughed right away, and
Yeah.
I got disqualified.
It was.
Oh, yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right. We did have.
Oh, because you can't cough. Yeah.
Well,
Well, you
can't
can cough, but
through
you
the
can.
bong and got it
I
wet.
made the mistake of coughing right through the bong.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
you
came out
popped
and
your cherry.
I popped
Yeah,
my
and
cherry.
it makes
Exactly.
the weed wet, etc.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
have that.
A lot of guys do that their first time. Just go a little bit too soon.
Just a little bit too
kinda
fast.
Like, yeah.
I needed to start thinking about baseball, and I
Kind
would
of
have
goes
been
over.
fine.
Think about your
Yeah.
grandma naked. Much better. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Sorry.
But yeah, we encourage you. Invitations will go on 420. So we'll have them at some of the sponsors' locations: Purple Haze, Daddy Danks. Some of the dispensaries will have them. We'll have them down at the Cannabis Cup, etc.
And it will sell out this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have
I would-
no doubt it's
Yep.
going to sell out.
Yeah, we're confident. It's
The
gonna
amount
sell
of
out
phone
this year.
calls that I've had just from people seeing it on our posters,
Yeah.
and from people advertising it for us.
Yeah. Well, we're proud to be media sponsors for this event.
Dude,
again.
we appreciate your media
Oh
sponsorship.
no, we
It's,
love to be able to like be a part of it, and I'm excited whether I'm going to be able to make it or not. I want to make sure.
Why
that
can't you bring the baby? It's too hot.
I am not bringing my
'Cause
like
it's 21 and up.
yeah
Oh.
yeah.
I was gonna bring my kid. Are you serious? Oh shit.
So
I'm not bringing a 4-month-old.
Grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Possibly grandma and grandpa. If we can arrange that, my girl and I will be there. It might be our
There you
first
go.
break.
Yeah, 4 months. You need a break. Like
Oh,
4
we're going to
months.
need a break after 4 months. I know
Yeah.
we will. But, to me, I'm really excited to be able to get all of my staff there and pay for them to be able to be there and, have our booth, not our booth, our campsite set up. And it's like a way to treat our staff for all the hard work they've done. So, and they'll be right in the perfect time because the magazine is always submitted on the 31st. And so, and then we have a few days where we have to wait before the magazine comes out. So that's like our quiet
Your
time of the week.
downtime?
It is. So it's
Exactly.
perfect timing for our guys. So we're excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So hey, can I thank a couple sponsors?
Please thank a couple sponsors. We have to actually wrap this show up because we did start late, but we're actually already, I think, at
I want
Not
to
my
thank
fault.
3D Tony Fox.
Yeah, Tony
Tony
Fox is
Fox.
the lady, man.
Yeah.
She
She's
honestly, really helped us out this year. I've been in a tight spot with some of the personal issues I've had with lawsuits in my life, etc. And she actually helped us really get the tickets and everything early, which is always one of those things that we run into every year. Like, how are we going to fund this thing right now? And so she took care of us, and we want to thank her. Connoisseur hooked it up for us. I also want to thank Lab 710.
Oh yeah, 710 Labs is great. Or Lab 710.
Lab 710.
Oh.
That's
I'm
Jason,
dyslexic.
our boy. He's cool. He's got it going. So I want to thank him. And all the other sponsors. All the detailed information is on Bong-A-Thong.com. That's Bong-A-Thon.com. So check it out there. Information is on the Facebook as well, under Bong-A-Thong, Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thong. All the updated information there always. So details.
Well, thanks for coming on. I do want to say this for all those of you guys out of state who are listening to this. We have some friends who have tried to come in for Marijuana Madness that we had to cancel. I know there's a lot of you coming in for the 420 Cup. If you're planning on coming only once in a year, I recommend getting your tickets for Bong-A-Thon and bypassing the 420.
Yeah.
Because really, 420 is like, we kind of call it like, in the bar industry, New Year's Eve is like amateur night. I kind of would say 420 in that realm is kind of amateur.
Them's bold words.
It is bold words,
But
it is because it's going to become over marketed. It's going to
and that's it. It's already over marketed. Yeah. I mean, it's such a huge event, and there's so many things going on in so many places on that stretch of days. You even as a native living here, I cannot hit every single one of them, man. Impossible. There's just no way I can do it. And so you kind of pick and choose and go do your thing. But speaking of coming in out of state, we've got Camping Geeks, OutdoorsGeeks.com. They're actually hooking up campsites this year.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
you can fly into DIA, rent your car, drive straight up to the spot, and they will have your tent already erected for you.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
That's smart.
They have teepee.
Less checked luggage. Yeah.
They have teepee. They have a teepee.
Ooh, I might just want to get a
with
teepee.
a bed. Is there a bed in the teepee?
Yes.
Well, they'll give you.
Oh, I want the teepee. How much is that?
There's like baller packages. All the information's up there, so you can
we
go
might
from
do a baller package this time around.
You
they
can
have
go
the glamour
from
camping, which is $700.
Yeah, it's baller camping, but yeah.
And then the teepee, I'm pretty sure is $600.
No, I think
I'm gonna split that.
Five or six.
Joe owes me a teepee. We're
and it's what they call a 10 by 10 teepee.
And they give you everything: bedding,
Yeah.
tables,
Oh, that's sweet.
The sleeping bags, everything.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love it.
And they'll have somebody up there to, if your tent blows down, to fix it.
Outdoors.
Outdoorgeek.com.
Right on. Well, it's Chris Jetter, Norm Hartman. I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're definitely going to have you guys back on probably in July.
Okay, sounds great.
That seems like when we're getting closer and closer to Bong-A-Thon like we did last time.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we could do a little mini fastest gram.
Like I say, I think we will do a fastest gram, and I think
we
you
should.
guys need to prepare.
I
between
will
now and
slam.
July.
I'll do this. I will
So-
drink a pint of beer while you do the gram, and we'll
And wear
see
your
who wins.
depends.
And
No,
wear your depends.
I just think we see who wins in that. It'll be like Mason Tavert always challenged Chicken Looper to who could do one faster.
I think we should have him do the fastest gram.
Have our intern do it.
Yeah, he's got a red card.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? This is actually going to be the coolest internship ever. When
I
we're
keep
like, your
forgetting
requirement is to now try to
he's back
smoke a
there.
gram as fast as humanly possible.
Put that in
he's
your,
like, I'm down.
That's what they all say. I could
know.
do it.
I can do it. Yeah.
He is wearing baggy sweats, so he's one step in the right direction.
He's ready. He's ready. You don't know. He might already have the depends on underneath that. He might be that prepared. And we could have just brought in a Boy Scout intern here, and we just don't know it.
We'll be doing fastest grams too
So
around
gross. You guys are
some of
gross.
the clubs.
Okay,
You guys
right
are
on.
gross
So you've been doing a
and
little
you
trouble.
guys are gross and inappropriate.
We're gross and inappropriate.
Yeah, we should probably close the show down.
Yeah, we really do need to
I'm
close
a
the show.
lady, and I don't want to be exposed to this anymore.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay. You don't want to be exposed to yourself anymore, is what you're
Nope.
saying.
What?
Okay.
You just asked me to expose
All
myself.
right.
You're
On
so
that
gross.
note, look, I want to thank our sponsors, Incredibles, for helping support us. We love you guys over there. You guys make a great product. Everybody go out and support our sponsor. If you like iCanvas Radio, go buy some
Chief
Incredibles
Visionary
bars.
Officer
He's
for
Chief Visionary Officer for Incredibles. Okay. Thanks again to Norm and Chris Jetter for coming in to represent Bong-A-Thon.
Thank you.
Can't wait to have you guys back
Bong-A-Thon.
on. And for those of you out there, if you are in a hotel and you do smoke a lot of weed, just stay
Don't
a few
hang
feet
out
away
with
from the
white
balcony.
dudes from Wyoming.
Don't hang out with white dudes from Wyoming. Oh man, if a radio show could go to hell, I think
Oh,
we're
yeah,
on our
we're
way.
there. We're
All
there.
right, until next time, thanks for listening. Peace, love, and
Happiness.